and we're recording. And we're doing the things. We are doing the PC Gamer Showcase 2024. We are the Game Reactionists, and I am Rorschach.
And I'm Spectre.
And we're going to speed run this, as we said the other day. We were supposed to do this yesterday, but we admittedly got lazy. So...
I mean, it's something I think we can start doing for a lot of these things, too, is you kind of give the abridged version of it in a way. Because, I mean, there's a lot of fluff and filler for these things.
Yeah. So, I mean, while we're waiting for the showcase, just a little 5 minutes before it officially starts, just give us time to talk. Something that I'm very much happy about got announced today, the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Collector's Edition for Metal Gear Solid Delta. And looks pretty dope, man. This got dropped today. They've been doing these, it's a Metal Gear Solid Legacy series, like some video vignettes on YouTube starring David Hayter, where he just has been talking about the series. And you know what, I think what I'll do is maybe watch those for the channel and comment on them. But this was announced today with the last episode. It's a pretty cool looking collector's edition, man. You get a nice looking collector's box, a couple of patches, a lanyard, a steel book, and I think one of the more unique things is a terrarium diorama. Usually you get like some sort of statue, but this is a diorama.
Neat. Yeah, I can't really compare. It's hard to compare it to anything else. I can't remember the last time we've gotten like kind of like a cool, like, you know, it's not really a statue. It's more like a scene, really, in a way.
Yeah.
And it looks really neat. It looks like something that would like look great on a shelf. You know, I mean, they did a good job of this. I mean, I'm speaking as a non-Metal Gear fan. I'm not going to be picking up this game, but I still think that's actually really cool. I wish they would use that for other, you know.
No, you won't even get this on Steam. You won't even just play the regular game.
No, I'm really not into Metal Gear at all.
Okay.
At most, I would play the original Metal Gear again, but I haven't even bothered picking that up.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, I thought this was pretty cool though. And I think GameStop stole Konami's thunder and inadvertently, preemptively announced the.
Oh God, what's going on?
I was gonna bring up Wario's account, but I guess I'm not. Anyway, Wario64 on X now, not Twitter. He shared a tweet from GameStop that apparently Metal Gear Solid Delta is gonna be releasing on November 17th. So, which confirms what we saw earlier in the year. PlayStation had like a 1 or 2 minute long video at the start of the new year of like games to expect within 2024 and the beginning of 2025. And Snake Eater and Silent Hill 2 were both part of the coming in 2024 announcements. So, yeah, I mean, we're getting 2 big franchises for Konami. One I'm very excited for. And then the other, I'm personally cautiously optimistic for. You are ready to swear it off, you know, but we'll see. We'll see how it does with Silent Hill 2 remake. With regards to the PC...
I'm glad. I was gonna say I'm glad it's coming out this year. I mean, I'm assuming it had to come out this year. I mean, if they're announcing collector's editions, that usually means it's pretty close to.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's a pretty fair price too. It's retailing at $199.99, and everybody's complaining, you know, even for the regular edition, you know, because I guess the regular game is going to be $70, and people were complaining like, oh man, paying $70 for a game that's already come out like 20 years ago. I'm like, what are you crying about? I don't understand that mentality. Like, it's still a new experience, you know. It's got brand new visuals on there, a brand new engine, brand new gameplay. Like, I
mean, I'm not going to defend modern day game prices, really, you know, but I understand what you're saying. I mean, you have to understand too. You're coming at it from a mega fan perspective, you know. Like, I mean, you're going to get it, you know, no matter what. They could charge $500 for it.
Well, I don't know
that. But one thing I really wanted to go through, like, very, very quickly. I suppose we could always pause if we have to here. It's not like I'm under the gun here.
Yeah.
But
well, there's probably going to be some dumb intro anyway, so
go probably.
ahead.
Yeah, the PC game show is kind of notorious for cringe, but I'll explain the format we're doing for the PC game show here in a second too. But I wanted to go over just like a really quick recap of the Xbox game showcase because we just had that the other day, and I'm seeing some mixed reactions to it. Some people seem to actually think it was actually kind of good, and I disagree. I think it was actually. I mean, I think we both thought it was overall. I mean, I thought it was pretty bland. I mean, you had a couple things mixed in there that were interesting, but for the most part, you had a lot of garbage. And I think maybe it's because they really strategically almost like planned it out. Like it's almost like they know like which games are gonna like okay, this is gonna get a better reaction. This is our DEI write-off game. Okay, now we got to go back to another game that's gonna have some hype behind it. So but I mean, just going for this. This is the list of games that were shown in order. So they had the big headliner opening of Call of Duty. We all knew that was coming. There's a Call of Duty game every year. There's nothing really exciting about that anymore. I don't know how. Like you could put a gun to my head and I could not tell you how to make Call of Duty exciting anymore. Everything's been done with Call of Duty. It's been around for decades now. There's nothing you can do to make Call of Duty exciting anymore unless you're like already a fan of it. So that that's a dud opening for most people. And then we had Doom, which we knew was coming, but Doom, I mean, it does.
Well, you knew it was coming. I had no clue. I mean, yeah. I'm not surprised there's a new Doom game coming, but I had no knowledge of it, and it looked fantastic.
It does look really. You're right. It looks really good. And then that's going to be the part of the pattern that we'll observe here for the show here. So you have good game, and then here we go to the trash. So then you had State of Decay 3, which was trash. The other games have just been dull trash, like some that DEI stuff mixed in there with it as well.
I've never played it, but the problem with State of Decay 3 is it was originally announced in 2020. And they show a new CGI trailer. There's no gameplay. Like, what am I supposed to be getting excited for?
Yeah, and yeah, a lot. That's true. That's a good point to bring up. A lot of this stuff wasn't actually even gameplay. It was just we essentially just watched a bunch of cinematics for the most part. Then the trash continues. Then we had Dragon Age Veilguard, which is kind of being dubbed now Failguard.
That looked like Dragon Age Overwatch. Honestly, like when they were
looked like a mobile game almost to me.
Like when they were first showing it off, I had no idea that it was a Dragon Age game because they were presenting it as if it was going to be some type of like hero shooter or live service game, and they had this weird like art style that's so it's the opposite of the previous Dragon Age games. I was very taken aback. I mean, if you've watched our stream on it, you'll see my reaction. It's just like, oh, that really is Dragon Age. Okay.
Yeah, I'll rattle for some of these pretty quickly here because so we can actually get to the show. But continuing with the trash, you had Starfield DLC announcement. You had a Fallout 76 DLC announcement. And then you got into, and then we get into something new and interesting. Like I said, we have good, then trash, then new, interesting, and that is the Expedition 33 game. Yeah. That's the kind of Western JRPG of sorts. That's a new IP from a French studio. Actually had a really intriguing trailer. Actually looks kind of interesting and fun.
It showed gameplay. It gave you an idea of what you might expect while playing the game. I do want to say real quick before you continue with the list, with regards to the Star Citizen DLC, that DLC...
Starfield.
You should take a page from my book.
I said Star Citizen. the real space game. Starfield DLC. That looked like what the game should have been originally, because at least there was something presented in the DLC, whereas in the marketing for the game when it launched, there's nothing to get me excited. Either way, I'm not going to play it. But go ahead and continue.
So we had good game, then we have good game or interesting game at least with Expedition 33. Now we're back to garbage. So then we go back to trash. So we have South of Midnight, which is the 10
frames per second thing.
The 10 frames per second DEI designed by committee game that checks all the boxes. But at least we saw some gameplay of that, and no one's going to buy that game. Absolutely, no one's going to buy that game.
It looks like we got our first world premiere of the PC gaming showcase. So it's.
I'll rattle for the rest of these really quickly, and then World of Warcraft expansion. This is like literally the 10th expansion. Nobody cares at this point. And then we're back to something interesting. We had Metal Gear Solid Delta.
I was very surprised by that. I was more surprised that when that was prepared, that it wasn't prepared for Sony's State of Play.
You would think, right? But they showed off Silent Hill 2.
I guess they showed off Silent Hill 2, and I mean Delta looked great. Again, we saw gameplay, so the graphics looked beautiful. And for all intents and purposes, they're doing this remake properly, where they're giving it a fresh coat of paint, keeping everything the same about it, and just slightly tweaking the gameplay to be more akin to like Metal Gear Solid 5, where you could, crawl on your back, and things like that. So I'm really expecting it to be a very solid remake, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to just even seeing the unboxing you do for that terrarium. That actually looks really cool for that.
Oh yeah,
and I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad at least you're getting a remake that you'll probably be able to enjoy, as compared to me.
Yeah.
But if we've been following the pattern so far, what happened? So we had something interesting. Now we have garbage. So then we get into a Sea of Thieves DLC, Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. I can't really even remember that one.
Oh, that was the self-proclaimed Souls-like, and I was watching that trailer, and I was just like, this is not a Souls-like. This is more like a wannabe God of War or modern like 3D Prince of Persia game. Or Assassin's Creed. I was just like, nothing about this is a Souls-like, and you know me, like I am all about my Souls-like games.
If it didn't capture your interest, it's not going to capture a lot of people's interest.
It's a formula that works. It's hard to screw up. I've already had a great experience with an indie studio with Lies of P. Fantastic game, probably my favorite game that came out last year. And it looked like hot trash.
Yeah, and then we got so after Flintlock, then you had something actually kind of good, Age of Mythology remaster, which actually looks interesting. That is, but I mean, I understand it's a very niche.
They haven't figured out how to ruin RTS games yet, at least. So
yeah, it's a niche game, though. I understand. That's like a de facto. I mean, it's coming out on Series as well, but it's like a de facto PC exclusive. I don't know how you play that game on a console. But something interesting, and then we get a bunch more crap. So then we get into the Perfect Dark trailer with the only thing I remember the only thing I really remember about that is her giant jaw line that is like
Crimson Chin.
More, yeah, exactly. It's more pronounced than ours. She literally has a larger jaw than we do.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It just like that's like the only thing I can really remember from that entire trailer. It just was, and then we saw he had some quasi Mirror's Edge-esque parkour scenes and stuff like that. That's all I can really remember.
It looked boring. It looked terrible.
Yeah, I think we've had a Perfect Dark, kind of follow up already before, and it sucked. So, I'm getting some feedback here.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Edge-esque parkour.
I was just double checking the stream. Sorry.
Okay, gotcha. So after Perfect Dark, then you get into a extremely long, like you could have taken like 2 bathroom breaks here. Diablo 4, we watched the entire opening cutscene.
God, man.
Yeah, and once again, this is another woman-led kind of cutscene here. That's going to be it's a big theme of their show. Everything was woman-led for pretty much the entire show. And then right along from that, without skipping the beat, we move into Fable, where we actually saw like some glimpses of gameplay with it. But once again, they had this
barely any glimpses. I mean, you're talking barely any. You got to see her walk down a path a couple of times. Like, I mean, okay.
And what's fascinating about it is, it's going to have it's basically been confirmed it's going to have a character creator. They made like the ugliest looking woman they could possibly have had for like
it's got to be a self-insert for one of the developers. I want to see a picture of the current development team for the new Fable, and
we can pick her out of the lineup.
I want to see if I can pick her out of the lineup.
Yeah.
I actually was Googling that the other night, like saying, I wonder if one of these, like if they've taken a group photo for Instagram or anything.
So right,
But...
Sean, it is but more than just
And then randomly, these are games that are barely even worth mentioning. Frag Punk, I don't even really remember that one. There was the mouse game.
Which I think, admittedly, I think that game will succeed just because it falls in line with one of those cutesy indie games.
It's wholesome,
kind of like Limbo or Hollow Knight, where it's just like the art style alone will help propel it to success. So is it a game I'm gonna play or drool over? No, but I mean, it'll work.
And then let's see what we got here. A mixtape. I don't even remember that one. I honestly don't even remember that. And then we have.
I think that was the Zoo.
We're missing like a medieval like ale game here. This actually looks kind of cute. But okay, mixtape. Yeah, I don't remember anything about mixtape.
I think that was the Zoomer game. I think that was the one we were talking about. Like, this game. We've really seen ourselves age out of the culture almost. Because we're
they made us feel old game.
Yeah.
And okay, then we got some more Flight Simulator DLC. They do this like every show.
Mm-hmm. Then, not even DLC. It's a brand new game release.
Oh, it is. It's right. It is a new game release technically. Yeah. Bethesda. Let's see. Bethesda had Elder Scrolls Online DLC. We got the new Life is Strange double exposure game. So they have that coming, and then something that I guess is semi-interesting. Like I said, the formula is something interesting, then a ton of trash, and then something interesting to break it up again. Indiana Jones. So we saw a more extended look at Indiana Jones. That's definitely not something I'm going to be picking up day one or anything like that, if I pick it up at all.
I think that game will fail because of it being primarily in a first-person perspective. I feel like that game should have been. You're doing Indiana Jones, which. There are games that have already been inspired by Indiana Jones. We're talking like the Uncharted series, the Tomb Raider series, and those games were translated into a 3D environment, and they succeeded because of that. It's just like, okay, we're doing Indiana Jones.
That third-person perspective,
this should be a 3D third-person perspective game, and I feel like. Because they're not doing that, there's going to be something to be missing there. And I mean, honestly, the 5-minute long, storyline spoiler, it's just like, ugh, God, I don't care. And Microsoft, you pay $70 billion to give away the Call of Duty franchise for free, essentially. But you won't throw Harrison Ford a few million to just voice Indy? Like, come on.
Yeah, right.
Fuck Troy.
And then Mecha Break was also interesting. That's
that's right up your alley.
Yeah, so I mean, so admittedly, a couple things sprinkled in here that are interesting. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers it's another Souls-like game.
That one looked good. That's one I'm gonna keep my eye on because I'm pretty good at pointing out the good Souls-like games, and that one I might take a chance on.
Make sure you. Okay, then after that we get into some bad stuff again. Avowed, which is looking worse every time I see it. Obsidian can't make good games anymore. I'm sorry. Then we had kind of a weird one. It was sort of like this turducken of like a whole bunch of like this amalgamation of like different games. Atom Fall. It just had like a whole bunch of like I don't even. It felt like it was like 3 different trailers at once. Melded together. And then we got something really bad with Assassin's Creed Shadows, which
the historical revisionism.
Yeah, nutty historical revisionism. Yeah, and then at least they finally have a release date, which is coming soon here for anyone that's into Stalker. They had a
Stalker 2 looked okay. I mean, I don't.
It looked okay. Yeah.
I don't think I'll pick it up. But it looked fine. It looked like a game I would play. If I ever ran out of things to play and it was like $10 or $20, I'd probably pick it up then.
Yeah, and then you had what after that? You had the announcement of a couple different versions of the console, an all digital version, and then a 2 terabyte version or whatever, which seemed like really weird to me. Like, wouldn't it be cheaper just to have like a current series, like a current Series X or whatever they call it now, and just get it on sale and then just expand the internal memory? Isn't that cheaper than buying like a whole new, I don't know, but whatever. It's an option, I guess, for people that are into that.
They should just dump the Series S model altogether. I mean, developers, from what I understand, hate developing for Xbox because of the Series S. Black Myth Wukong is a prime example of that. That's coming out in August. Another Souls-like style game from a Chinese developer. It's coming out on PC and PlayStation first with no determined date for the Xbox version because of having to optimize it for the Series S. And it's just like, you guys are almost cannibalizing yourselves with that. Just get rid of it. Like, why? You know?
Yeah, it's
and I think maybe that is their strategy. I think that maybe that is their strategy now that they're releasing an all digital Series X. Maybe Microsoft's next step will be to be like, okay, we're phasing out the Series S, and that will be obsolete.
Yeah, you have
forward.
Yeah, so you have your, then it'll just be like sort of like what PlayStation has. So you have your digital Series X, then you have your kind of premium disk drive, larger storage Series X.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe that's how they're going to see it. And then they closed on the Gears of War prequel, which I don't know how, I really honestly don't know how relevant Gears of War is anymore. This is not 2008 anymore, you know, or 2009, you know, back when it was like huge, you know. I feel like that series is really, it's sort of like Halo. It's kind of like its glory days are in the distant past. So
I will say it looks obviously they got Marcus back in there, and because it is a prequel, they had Mad World by Gary Jules playing in the background. It's clearly a throwback to the very first game's teaser trailer or announcement trailer, which was part of our trailers. I think we did a trailers episode months back, and I think that was one of them on there. I'm not a Gears of War fan by any stretch of the imagination. I played Gears 1 and 2, and I don't know, the big beefcake men just didn't do it for me. And for what it's worth, at least this teaser trailer looked awesome, and it could be a way to, I don't know, get in the good graces of the fans of the series, because from what I understand, Gears 5 just was not it. So
yeah, so I mean, but my whole point of going through all that is, you know,
we had about 7 titles. I was trying to keep track. I think it was 6 or 7 titles that were good to
or interesting, and I was being charitable too, you know, good or interesting stuff there. And then you had just a sea of, I mean, it's 6 or 7 titles out of like 30 plus games or announcements. So I mean, just keep that in mind, you know. I mean, even if you're really nuts about some, you know, certain things, you're really excited for a couple more than, you know, that we mentioned there. I mean, that's still the proportion of good or great stuff to garbage and just, you know, it's completely unbalanced there. So I wanted to, I know that was a really long tangent there. We kind of missed a good part of the show here already, but
it doesn't look like we missed anything.
We've got a lot more.
I've been watching it.
The last game was kind of like a boomer shooter thing.
It's all a bunch of indie titles, and you know,
get those hand stretches going.
Well, that's, I mean,
PC has no games.
Prepare to do battle.
I never understand when you say that. It has every game that console has and more. But I mean, this is the, you know, when speaking of indie games, that is, I think, kind of the shape of things to come, because, you know, AAA is dying. Well, speaking of here, there's something interesting here. This is what's it called? It's the RTS from the guys that worked on that did Warcraft 3.
Okay.
So this is actually, I actually have this one already. I was going to try to keep a tally of what games I have wishlisted. I know I have this one wishlisted already.
Their flying arc ship cascades power.
I will add one on here for that Ale game, because I might put that on my list here too, because that was kind of funny. But this one I am actually watching this one because
now the Celestial Armada is here.
Ale Abbey, that was the one that looked kind of cute.
Latest battleground.
I'm gonna put that on the list here.
It's just getting started.
All right, so that was Stormgate. So far, what's been announced is, we'll recap here. But Among the Wild, Starbirds, Lornvale, Ale Abbey, Streets of Rogue 2.
The Celestial
Wander
Armada
Stars.
is this dying alien race that is moving through the galaxy, and they are ancient beings that stretch back to the origins of the universe
Steel
itself.
Seed,
And everything from
Fallen
their beings
Aces,
to their civilization
Storm
where they live
Gates,
is technological.
and that was-
driven.
and now we're caught up.
We love playing into that mechanically with how they express themselves on the battlefield in the game. With each faction that we develop, we start with a core identity. The Vanguard, we have this plucky human resistance. They're about adaptability, and with the Infernals, we really explore the idea of a unit-focused faction that could have a different way of summoning the troops into the battlefield. With the Celestials, when we started out, we really wanted to.
He made the most direct comparison to. I mean, he literally showed us Warcraft 3
subconscious subversion. Isn't that what they call it?
No, it's
making your core identity.
They are anchored by
you never played
this idea
Warcraft
that
at all,
they're
did you?
descending
I played
into the atmosphere
StarCraft. I did
from
not
the
play
Celestial Armada. And so when you're playing as this
I did play
faction and
World
can
of Warcraft,
build structures all
when it
across
first
the map in
released.
different places very easily, in many ways it
think I
becomes
played that
this
for, like, the first
strategic
6
dance
months,
about
and
where
I
the
was-
conflict is playing out
I
on the
moved
map.
on
So
'cause
we've kind of shifted the focus
I was a
onto the
teenage
buildings themselves.
boy.
There's going to be a lot of emergent gameplay that
Girls
players
were
will
more
discover on
important
their
to
own that we are not planning for. And that's actually
Right.
what we want from the Celestials. Is we want to give players a bunch of options, a bunch of flexibility. And
Yeah,
a
I
bunch
mean,
of interesting
honestly, I
toys
mean,
to play with,
obviously
and
they're
then see what
infusing a
comes
lot
out
of
the
the
other
DNA
side.
of
If
this
you're the
with
type of
war,
player
kind of
that
old
really
Warcraft
likes
style,
coming up with this innovative way to outsmart opponents, the
I'm
Celestial
intrigued by
faction is designed.
And really, and when you go back to like
Celestials,
Warcraft 3, it's not about. That was the mistake they made with Reforged. Was it's not about having like extreme graphical fidelity that actually can work against you when you're doing an RTS. Actually, it's. I tried playing Reforged with the new graphics with it, and it was like I couldn't even tell. Like you couldn't even tell what units you had. Everything was too like detailed and enhanced. Like you need to have simple design when you're making an RTS, and that's what these people understand. You got to have a design for your units that makes them recognizable in the heat of a big congested battle. You know, so you can actually tell what the hell's going on. You know, I couldn't tell. I just looked like a big. You know, it's like I was watching like the fight scenes out of like those Transformer movies. It was just like a big glish glop of like shit going on. I can't even tell what's going on. And you need to have like a design that's simple and recognizable.
Another faction really.
So yes, I'm looking forward to this. I will probably be checking this out here. I think the
any real-time strategy game
beta for
in
it
a
is
nutshell,
coming
essentially
up
what that
here.
means is, as a player, the time between clicking and seeing their actions take place is faster than any other
Early
RTS game that's really ever come out. As a player, it just feels really, really good to play.
One of the biggest design challenges that we faced with Stormgate is creating a
Normally,
game
I'm not a
that
fan of
maintains the high
shit
skill
like this
gameplay that
with like
has
the whole
been
developer
the heart
vignettes.
of RTS for so long,
But
still provides an
even though I
for new
won't
players
play
coming
this
in
game,
that
I'm okay
doesn't
with it
scare
in
them
this
away.
instance
It's
because
okay to be a high
they
skill
are
game. It's actually a good and
video
appealing
game.
thing. We never want to water
I know I was
down
joking around
that
about
aspect
identity
of
and
RTS,
stuff,
but we
they
talk a
don't
lot
have an
about
agenda here. They're
lowering the
just
skill
trying to make a
floor,
game.
which
These are
means
seasoned
making
veterans
it
of the
more
industry.
approachable for new players coming in without taking
man.
away the high skill
Preach about your
elements of the game that make
I'm
RTS
okay
so
with it in
exciting.
this case.
Yeah, they're trying
when
to
it's
do
Microsoft
more
preaching about
bringing the
fucking,
community
you
along
know,
with us and
South by
benefiting from that
Southwest or whatever the
feedback
fuck
that the
that,
community provides
10
us to
frames
really
per second
make
game
the
or whatever.
game what they
You just
tell
said the
us
title
they
not
want.
5 minutes
We've
ago. I
been
already don't
having
remember.
conversations
right? South of Midnight.
South of Midnight.
Really
Yeah.
are able to craft
Stormgate will be
feels
free to play
collaborative.
in early
We're
access
sharing
on
it
August
at a
13th.
much
I will
earlier
have to.
stage than
I mean,
any
a
game
perfect
that
time
we've
actually to
worked
do
on
that
in
too,
the
because like
past.
nothing.
But it is a
It's
better
a
way to
summer
make
game
games. I
drought. There's like
believe
nothing
that
going on.
Stormgate,
So
as it evolves, will turn into something that is.
I will check it
literally
out
the
then.
best game that
Yeah, at
we've
least I
ever
can do like
worked
an
on
early
as a
access and check it
result.
out. That way I don't have to like
We
commit
hope
to
you've
it fully.
enjoyed
But I mean,
this exclusive
it looks
first look at our
it looks pretty
Celestial
neat.
faction.
It looks
Stormgate's
like it'll
free to play.
scratch that
It's available
itch.
to everyone. It will be launching
Yeah,
fully.
and I
early
like
access
the
on
like I said, I like the
August 13th.
designs they're going for.
But you can join us
It's
before then. On
it's
July
modernized.
30th.
You know, it's on
By
Unreal
going to
5.
Steam and picking up one of our bundles that's
July
available
30th.
today.
He mentioned you can get it on July 30th.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so that's the August date must be like the
Douse me in
general
ethereal
early
light and
access.
Mine my minerals. I am beyond excited for Stormgate.
This is the
Hey,
jackass I
Sean,
couldn't stand
If
last
you're
year.
excited for RTS madness, wait until you hear this. I've been using pretzels to scoop up my ice cream instead of a spoon. Pretzels.
Oh,
They're
was
like
she the
spoons you
AI
can eat.
broad last year?
Solid logic.
It's
Frankie,
they
but
always hosted
why are you telling me
together
this now?
usually.
Yeah.
It's strategy.
I can never remember their names to save my life.
Watch party strategy. No spoons, nothing to wash later. Get it? Here is another example. Let's say someone knocks on my door during the watch party. A regular person would get up and answer the door, but me? I just hurl this brick through my front window, and whoever was knocking
they gotta have
runs
their
away in
cringe
terror.
skits.
Bricks. They're like spoons you can throw.
I feel like I'm really starting to get you, Frankie. A window brick sounds totally overpowered. I think you're onto something.
My point is this. It's a really exciting
Wow,
time for
this
strategy
Wario
games
just
on PC,
announced
and we've
this,
got
so they're
so
doing
many more to show you today.
the Switch is getting
Right
a
now.
Nintendo World Championships
All you
game, so
turn-based
it's similar to like the
tactics
NES
fanatics out there do not
Remix
want to miss
games.
this next one.
And the special edition for the US, you got like some art cards of the classic games and stuff like that. But the Japanese version comes with an acrylic stand, the art cards of the games, the game itself, and then it looks like you get 2 of the Japanese style Famicom controllers. They're Joy-Cons of the Switch, but they're stylized like the Famicom.
That's pretty cool.
God, the US gets ripped off so many times when it comes to collector's editions. Alright, what is this? Mastered Corporate Strategy.
Looks like it's some kind of like tactical RPG type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Fight for your rights, for your shareholders. Oh, Epic Game Store. There you go.
Yeah, it was a pass for me. Toads of the Bayou.
Toads of the Bayou. And the makers of South by Midnight. Cleanse and Defend. These things are just like the game we just saw.
Yeah, it's like a tactical RPG thing with a card deck building element possibly here.
World premiere.
It's not wow. That one's not wowing me.
When the demon looked upon the earth, it was the
1944.
look of death.
So Camlet is really trying to summon a demon from another dimension. What a twat.
The primary mission is to sabotage Camlet's operation at any cost. What a splendid hiding place.
The
How
old
about a
man.
little switcheroo?
You got equipped with Thinamagics too.
You're not the only one with tricks up your sleeve.
The siblings.
Tight passages, traversing the rooftops.
I'm not really digging the art style at all.
No. The Mentalist.
Don't mind me.
Did you just melt him?
It's an incredibly complicated chemical reaction. But yes,
Chemist.
impressive.
Terrifying.
It has its uses.
I've got
Werebear.
glimpses of a strange machine he's been working on. I have no idea what it does.
We'll keep it simple then. Stab and shoot our way to the off button.
I think this is one we could probably skip.
Oh, I think it's already
Said that
done.
a career in archaeology would be
We'll have to call it out sooner, I guess. And our decisions.
Yeah, it's done. Sumerian 6.
stealth, tactics, a ragtag group of scientists, and a werebear. What a great world premiere trailer. And speaking of trailers, Mika, we've had a ton of them on the PC gaming show over the last 10 years. You want to hear some stats?
Oh my God, is Master Chief a Covenant killing machine?
Has and always will be, Mika. And in the first 10 years of this show, we've piped into your hungry little eyeballs over 79,018 seconds of exclusive PC gaming content, streaming in a plethora of languages and regions.
And that's not all, Sean. We have worked closely with developers to provide exclusive behind-the-scenes content and showcase some of the most exciting games of the past decade, all of which can be found over on our site.
Initiatives.
Indeed, and hey, how about a few more of those stats? According to chat, a whopping 98.7% of viewers tuned in live right now want us to hurry up and get on with the next trailer. So hey, can't argue with facts.
No, you can't.
Hey PC gamers, my name is Dave and I'm the director of Mighty Yell, and if you know us, you know we like to make things that are weird, uplifting, and fun.
This looks like the guy
With
from
those things in
Game
mind,
Together
I cannot
MKE
wait to show
almost.
you our brand new expressive dance battle adventure.
Hey, we have a chatter here. DoorDash is a fart.
The fun of freely dancing and moving through space combines it with some intense arena combat and heartfelt and funny
I hope you brought coffee. This
All
is
in the name
this is a sleeper so far. We kind of spent the first part of it just discussing the overrated. I think it's kind of overrated Xbox presentation. Because I've seen people try to say it was actually like, oh, it was good, it was okay. You know.
Then maybe everyone
But I kind of went through and it's like, you know, it's just because you have a few diamonds in there, it's still a pile of shit.
Thank you.
Oh man, we're about a dozen games deep in. There hasn't been anything
The
yet.
revolution will not be choreographed.
Let's talk about the Xbox presentation.
Welcome to Port Tomorrow, a perfect place for every
This
Rouge
seems
citizen
boring as
to
heck.
work, socialize, and relax.
It largely is. I mean, really, the only, like I said, the only one that's really to keep an eye on, and especially if you are an all fan of real-time strategy, was that Stormgate one.
Yeah,
that's the Warcraft 3 guys.
Remake. Where's the remake for Where's the remake for Warcraft 1? That would be the Stormgate game.
That's the best you're gonna get. We already got a remake for Warcraft 3, and everybody hated it. So they're never gonna do that again. So the best you can hope for
is one we can skip, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
All right, here's the next one.
We're gonna try to speed this along here.
What is this? A
But yeah, no,
vigilante game?
if you're into RTS, yeah, that Stormgate's the one to watch out for.
Perfect random. Sulfur. Buy your $1,500 to $2,000 PCs, and these MB games, they are.
Did you have like a stroke halfway for that sentence?
Wait, what did I say?
You said like these AM games BR? What?
Oh yeah. I said buy your $1,500 to $2,000 PCs.
Console gamers, ladies and gentlemen.
And then these are the games and BS that you play. No, sorry. I got a text from somebody, and so I got distracted midway through sentence.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the beauty of PC, though. Even if you don't like the PC only games, you still have the best versions of of everything else, and you have all the old games too, which are still great. So you can't really lose.
Finally, something that looks like it would use your PC.
Like I said, I don't expect a whole lot of AAA in the future, man. I think that's really, I mean, it's just the numbers don't add up anymore at all. You're going to see a lot more. Nintendo doesn't make AAA stuff. They've said many times that they budget their games. It's not they're not making these gigantic high budget games. They have cutesy art styles that are a couple generations old, and that's how.
I'm sorry. Are you trying to suggest that games like Mario or Zelda, those aren't AAA games?
They're AAA games. Well, the whole AAA thing is reference to budget. And the budget on those is, I mean, it's compared to what we're missing here. to like actual like. Yeah.
Atlas, do you copy? Respond, Atlas.
Phantom Line.
That might be one I check out. Let's see. Phantom Line. Join Paranormal SWAT. Phantom Line is a co-op shooter set in the post-nuclear European continent.
But I didn't study, Sean.
Paranormal events and activities hidden from the public eye. An open world map full of dynamic events. It actually sounds kind of interesting.
Okay.
What do you do?
Well, if I were
I wish it wasn't like a co-op thing. I wish you just do it by yourself.
You know, like you do. I would probably replace its other arm with a grappling hook.
I'll throw it on the wish list because it actually is interesting.
Right in at
Killing Floor 3
Interactive, who have been working for years to bring us the next installment in the Killing Floor series. Now, for those of you who didn't know, the franchise has been a huge staple of the PC gaming show since its inception.
I haven't really played Killing Floor at all.
Tripwire have actually been at 9.
And I have no frame of reference for it. Nobody seems to talk about it in my
Players
circles.
will face off against a new upgraded generation of Zeds in this long-awaited co-op horror FPS.
And the Zeds aren't the only things that have gotten an upgrade. To learn more, we visited those mad scientists at Tripwire Interactive for this exclusive look at the guns and gore of Killing Floor 3.
Who's ready for a bit of fun then?
So Left 4 Dead, but it ain't Left 4 Dead.
Kinda seems like it, yeah. Which, hey, maybe it's fun. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have...
I mean, PvE is only fun for so long, you know? Like, I just... That's one thing I loved about the Left 4 Dead games is that it had that PvP element in it where you could play as the zombies.
And that was a blast. Yeah, I really... I think I played that mode... I played that mode more than anything else.
That's one thing. That's one reason why I hate Valve. Why I hate Gabe. It's like you rest on your laurels. You have such a great product in that you can. Why not pump out a sequel? Like.
You could always just go back and play Left 4 Dead.
I mean, I have them.
Action horror would be the thing that we focused on from the beginning with Killing Floor 3. It was really about science.
Do we want to watch this?
I mean, even like look at this.
Let's skip. Let's skip. There's a lot of
As a
padding
kid
to
of the
this.
80s and
fluff.
90s, I just loved the Dark Horse Alien.
I'm trying to
Predator
keep this. I'm
comics.
trying to keep
There
this
were
like
some
flashy
elements in
and
there
and
about trying
as
to
interesting
create
as possible.
biological weapons.
Discord for 3 weeks.
Sean, that is the Discord for Cleaning Floor 3, the mopping simulator.
Oh, I mean, I was kind of wondering why there was so little chat about killing Zeds and so much about preventing street marks on kitchen floors.
All right, let's leave Zeds behind because in our next game, there is a different type of mob filling the streets. Thousands of screaming sports fanatics. You can manage traffic, security, and logistics.
I actually give
for
Valve
athletes
credit
and
for not
fans
just pumping
in
out
football
products for the
tycoon
big
game, Papa City.
franchises.
Here's
Yeah,
the
I
world
mean,
premiere
yeah,
trailer.
sure, but to a point. I mean, you know, you look at games like. I'm not even talking like annual releases, just like, you know, Left 4 Dead 2 came out in 2009? Like, would it kill you guys to pump out another fucking Left 4 Dead game? You know, Half-Life 2 came out in 2005?
Yeah, like 2004, 2005. Yeah, it's been a long time.
I mean, would it kill you to do Half-Life 3? Meanwhile, you're pumping out Half-Life on your Half-Life in VR for, what is it, Oculus or MetaQuest or whatever the fuck it is?
Valve Index is probably what they're probably mainly focused on there, but.
I mean, yeah, it's just. I'm not saying you have to pump out your big franchises every year, but man, like, give me a reason to want to play. You know, give me a reason to try to argue in favor of PC gaming, because right now, I'm not seeing anything. skip this?
Yeah, let's skip this one. Yeah. What the heck is this?
Skip?
Yeah, this is a skip.
PC Game Pass.
Skip.
I love gaming.
God, look at this. One of the great things about being on PC is you don't have to worry about subscription fees for X, Y, and Z and all that stuff unless you're really into a particular MMO like WoW or something. For the most part, you don't have to worry about this stuff. But Microsoft's trying to change that. They want to have you subscribe to PC Game Pass. Pretty soon they're going to have you subscribe to Windows. They already have you subscribed to trying to get you to subscribe to half the Windows products. They're probably just going to do that for the operating system in general soon. So yeah, they're trying to infect every console's already been infected by subscription fees. Basically mandatory subscription fees. Now they're trying to get PC too.
Yeah, and they will, because it's Microsoft. So you'll be paying a fee to access your computer soon enough.
That's good. We have outs on my console, so we have outs.
Last Moon?
Yeah.
Strange Scaffold, the studio behind El Paso elsewhere. We're making a covert revenge thriller FPS about a secret agent turns down one last job too many and gets hunted across the North American wilderness by the military-industrial complex. And I was like, hey, can I shoot this promo here? And they said, well, it's Texas. Of course we can hunt you. And I said, what's this?
The one thing the games industry needs more than a corporation that gives a shit about developers and their players is wasp slander. Now, I could tell you about how Strange Scaffold, the studio behind El Paso elsewhere, is making an exciting new action game, but if you get anything out of this next trailer,
the face of
I hope it's
PC
that
gaming,
wasps are
ladies and
evil
gentlemen.
bastards, and they should be shot on sight. Thank you.
Where are you hiding? The more you hide, the more agents we send. And the more agents we send, well...
I'm not feeling. I don't want There's so much just cell shaded crap out there. Like it's
cheap. It's easy to develop.
It's cheap. Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't look good. It didn't look good. Back in the day when Borderlands came out and popularized it. Yeah, it still doesn't look good now.
I don't know. I liked Wind Waker cell shading. I liked the one of the few positive things I could say about the Prince of Persia reboot that came out on Xbox 360 originally. It was like that mixture of cell shading / stylized art. I did like it. I thought it looked good.
I would give Wind Waker a pass just because it was so new at the time still.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively, I mean, not like
beautiful.
new.
I mean, you look at other games from back then.
There were other games like it, but I mean, it was a bold direction for a very well loved series.
Yeah. But it crippled the sales of that. Ironically,
And with this stone.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not. I mean, it was also on a less popular system. Sorry, I know you love your GameCube.
Coming up in the PC game.
Not that N64 was like a crazy gajillion seller or anything, but it did have a,
I am curious, with the GameCube, man, what happened with that? Was that just like a marketing folly,
for GameCube?
Yeah, did Nintendo, again, were they resting on their laurels and just expecting to sell well because they're Nintendo?
I think it's a fascinating question. I think it comes down to a number of things. One, you have to remember PlayStation 2 came out first.
Sure.
So that it got a big, leg up in the market. PlayStation 1 was insanely popular. So you had a lot of goodwill coming from the previous generation in. Whereas Nintendo was kind of, everyone saw the 64, whether they were right or wrong about it. They saw the move that was made with it, with keeping with cartridges, as a mistake. It sold, like 33 million or so.
Yeah.
But I mean, it compared to the Super Nintendo, it was a disappointment.
Yeah.
And so you had that. The GameCube did not have although there was a version of the GameCube with a DVD player, that was like a niche product. The PlayStation 2, all PlayStation 2s had a DVD player built in back when DVD was really
Did the
in
original
vogue.
Xbox have DVD options? Could you play DVD? I mean, I have an original Xbox I could find out, I guess. ask.
I believe so. I'm almost
remember.
positive. Yeah, because there was a DVD remote.
Excellent work as always.
On the original Xbox?
What's up, everybody?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm Tasteless, and I am joined with David,
yes,
Kim,
original
and
Xbox can play
Artosis.
DVDs.
Okay.
Today we're going to be talking to you.
If you use the
about a
Xbox
very
DVD movie
exciting
playback
new
kit, this
game,
kit comes with a
Battle
receiver
Aces,
that
a
you can program with
fast-action
okay.
RTS.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
So it could play DVDs.
But with GameCube, it was a more powerful system than the PlayStation 2.
And also, if I
That's true. That's true. But I think the PlayStation 2 was just this perfect storm of everything going right. You had Xbox was just entering the market, and it happened much. I mean, it came out like years and years after PlayStation 2, because PlayStation 2 came out in 2000. So it was first onto the market. It was right on the
killer launch window.
It had a great launch window. The first couple of years were incredible, and it kept on getting great hits after that. You had one of its main rivals in Sega was exiting the market. So you had really for a while it was just who was their competition really? They didn't really have much going against them.
So we have 45 units planned for
PC gaming was really a whole separate entity at the time.
I think even PlayStation, they were the first ones to do network gaming for the console space before Xbox Live launched.
Here on the intelligence
So they were the first ones to get into that market. I know Nintendo GameCube also had network gaming as well.
For things like Phantasy Star.
Phantasy Star, Mario Kart.
While you're doing the defending.
I think there were a couple
about
of
the different types of strategies that can be used for different players.
So in this
but I know I'm confident PlayStation beat into the market because that was I remember that being the big selling point for SOCOM.
My basic strategy is in tier 1,
you get the network
I have
adapter
these recoil
and then
units that can
you
teleport
played
back to any of
SOCOM
my bases,
online.
making it a very easy defensive option.
And I remember that was really popular.
King crabs that are very strong.
That's true. So I think it was. You can't really point to one factor. And like I said, I'm not somebody that was against the GameCube. I think the GameCube was great. I had a GameCube at the time.
Yeah, I
really enjoyed it.
Obviously, I don't have anything against it. I want to do a complete GameCube collection.
So when the timer reaches 0, then the game will end.
Obviously,
and the winning player
Nintendo.
is whoever has the higher score when that happens.
But yeah, I'm just curious. Like, was it a marketing volley?
They seem to be on a.
Because obviously, when we were that age, I wasn't paying attention to like
harassment, a little
how
bit counterattacking.
Consoles or games were marketed.
To the back so that I can take down
and
bases,
since that generation, I've had every console available anyway, so it didn't really matter. I had a PlayStation 2, an original Xbox, I had a GameCube, so if there's a game exclusive to one of the three, I'd be able to play. I had a gaming PC ever since then as well. So I'd be able to play Counter-Strike if I wanted to, games like World of Warcraft, stuff like that. So I was never missing out on anything. But I just never really paid attention to like why.
Like you're pushing forward, and that
I mean,
is
PlayStation 2 is
very
obvious
scary
why it
with
was
that
more
many crabs.
successful.
See how
Like,
you end up
why
doing. It does look like it's going to end up being a route.
At least
even
more
taking down
successful
his
than
flying
Nintendo
units
64 because I
there.
don't
Looks
even
like
think
you've done
GameCube
a great
outsold the
job
N64.
at this game, David, and.
I remember that was when I made like a major switch. Like I really was, I was always a PC gamer in the background, but for consoles, I was very much into Nintendo. For the early '90s, I loved Super Nintendo. I loved 64, obviously to death. And then right around that time, later in the 64's life cycle, I got a PlayStation 1, and I mean, you just saw PlayStation do things that you just could not do on a 64. It was a really impressive system to the point where when PlayStation 2 launched, I'll never forget this. My mom, because I had to have a PlayStation 2. It was the only thing I wanted. Like my whole world revolved around it. There was a lot of hype building up to the launch.
Spectre was kicking and screaming in every mall. I want my PlayStation 2, Mom.
She actually.
The cops on you.
It was a school night. I remember she camped out at a Kmart for it, and she got one.
She didn't want you to call the cops on her. She made a choice.
I did end up camping out myself when the GameCube came out. I actually got that day one as well. But PlayStation 2 was like at that point I was just so hyped I had to have one right away. And I even had a game that I really wanted to play on it right away too, a launch of Tekken. Because I wasn't an Armored Core fan at the time. It also launched with Armored Core 2, but I didn't get into Armored Core 2 until like a year or two later. So, but I was really into Tekken. I loved Tekken to death. So that was the rest was history.
Yeah, for me, I grew up with Nintendo as well. I had Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64. I didn't have a PlayStation. I didn't know anything about PlayStation. until I got a PlayStation 2 as a birthday present from my dad.
What?
And, I mean, you talk about heartwarming stories, like your mom, something similar with me. My dad was going through a divorce at the time, and I remember going to a friend's house and playing Metal Gear Solid 2. I'd never even played the first game because I had no experience with PlayStation 1. And I just was blown away at how this game looked.
You've lost your memory, and
that it had a really immersive storyline. I was just like, holy shit, man. Gaming is a lot different than what it is on Nintendo 64. And I told my dad, I was like, this is the one thing I want. So I went over to my dad's house one weekend. It was my birthday weekend. And, I told him, similar to you, that I wanted a PlayStation 2. I wanted this game, Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, that's all I wanted for my birthday. And he was living in a dingy motel at the time, like right after the divorce. And he gives me a copy of Metal Gear Solid 2. He's like, here, happy birthday, Rorschach.
Wake up, sleeper.
And I was like, oh, thanks. But I don't have the system.
Next contract to go right.
He really called you that at the time?
Yeah. No, he didn't call me that. He tried to dox me. We went out to dinner and stuff to celebrate my birthday. We came back home. He's like, I was thinking about that game and how you said you didn't have the system. Will this work? And he pulls the brand new PlayStation 2 from like the top of this makeshift coat rack that he had. And I was just like, oh my god, this is best birthday ever.
It's all over.
And my dad too, as always, up until I became an adult, he was always the one to support the hobby for me. He got me my PlayStation 2. The GameCube was the first console that I bought on my own as a kid. He got me the original Xbox. He bought me the Xbox 360. And then by the time I decided I want a PS3, I was already an adult, so I was like, I'll just buy my own systems from now on.
Although he did forget to tell us about Vesna.
Yeah, no, it was kind of a special time. I don't think we're really missing a whole lot in the background here.
No, we're not. We're telling stories here for anybody listening.
Whatever comes at us next, just remember.
Do we want to watch this
Nothing
one?
in the belt.
Let's jump ahead. What's the next one?
This looks right up your alley.
Actually, this does look good. This is Demon School. I have this on my wish list. You were right. This is up my alley.
I know my friends and all their quirky likes and dislikes.
Oh, cool. That's coming out actually pretty soon. Okay.
Friday the 13th in September. Oh, boy. All right, so it looks like they're going to do an in-depth look here. Oh, no, never mind. See, Nintendo should just get in touch with all these developers and be like, hey, you know what? Put your games on the Switch. I mean, these are all games that would look like they're made for the Switch.
Oh yeah, then that's all you gotta do is if I just would what I should do is go through next year and just edit it and put the Switch on at the end of everything. You'll say this is the greatest show ever.
No. I'm not into the indie stuff. I'm trying to get to the title of what that game is. Whatever. It's Unreal 2. I saw it in the clip show anyway. Star Wars? Disney's gonna have a problem with that sound effect. Space Station 14 wish list now. Do it now.
I'm good.
Wish you could keep track of all the games you're seeing on the PC Gaming Show? Well, that's exactly what wish lists are for. The VZ Gaming Show Steam page is a one-stop shop where you can fill up your wish list with every single game we're featuring on our show. Make it quick though. We've got an unbeatable trailer coming up. That's no exaggeration. It really is unbeatable.
Unbeatable? Like the game itself is unbeatable?
Nani?
I say the lines, the syllables, got it memorized so I can make you stop. You treat me like a criminal.
Skip.
Why shouldn't I treat you like you're a cop?
What the hell is it?
Oh, you're into this, aren't you?
I see anime style. It must just be another beat 'em up game, which we've seen like 20 of these already.
Well, yeah.
Because they're easy to make. Yeah, Skip.
Unbeatable, a game where music is illegal and you do crimes.
Sweet.
There you go. You can do your demo signups. PS5, Series X, S, and Steam.
Console has no games.
We are trapped. Not seeing any games on PC.
It's like a Vampire Survivor clone. Seen probably a cajillion of these.
Skip.
That's a skip, Captain.
Didn't even see the title of that previous one. Rippin'
That's
Pepperoni.
Okay. We're moving right along with stuff.
We're keeping her moving, man. Core Keeper. Full 1.0 and console launch. There you go.
That is a double shot of exciting news. Core Keeper's upcoming 1.0 launch and twin stick shooters Odenfall coming to early access later this year.
Okay, Mika, I can't wait to show everyone our next game, and it's so exciting. I'm gonna need to stand up for this. You should stand up too.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. It's hard to think of a better combination than the team behind the gloriously gory medieval warfare slasher Chivalry 2 and this classic zombie survival horror game that started out as a mod for Half-Life 2.
Brace yourself for 8-player co-op, permadeath, and the terrifying cinematic experience of No More Room in Hell. So let's take a look.
Oh,
no more room.
Yeah, you're gonna want to sit down for this.
But I just stood up.
No More Room in Hell 2 is a permadeath horror co-op game.
You start with a flashlight with no weapons,
Permadeath?
and you're exploring in the dark, and you're
So
trying
if you
to find your
die,
first friend
permanently
and your
game
first
over,
weapons
you
to get
can't
some
ever play
safety.
the game
You find
again?
more gear, you find more
Yep,
people.
it uninstalls it
It's
automatically.
4 players, 6
Wow.
players, 8 players, up to
That's
that final
gaming.
showdown
Can't refund.
of the power plant. Hordes of zombies are pouring in and using
Maybe the game I will
explosives and
release.
assault rifles to overcome that final challenge.
Are you familiar with this series at all?
No, not really at all. No. We actually we saw this trailer in another show already. Right,
Have we?
another
How do
version.
we
Yeah.
deliver the Hollywood cinematic
This was they had this at the summer festival or whatever, I think.
What you've always wanted
Oh,
to
I
do.
did not watch
It's
the
like
Game
co-op
Fest at
game
all.
with consequences.
Yeah,
And the fun
you didn't
becomes,
miss
how
anything.
long can I survive?
I'm okay with skipping this. This just looks kind of like a. Or they're already done.
Actual in-game footage. 1976, somewhere in Scandinavia. Fortress 5.
Friendly Mustang has arrived on the battlefield.
Yeah, I just don't have like a good shooter I can really get into anymore. Like I like good multiplayer shooters. I just nothing I can really enjoy anymore. I'm not into Counter-Strike anymore. I miss like old like 1.6 Counter-Strike. I thought that was more interesting to me because of all the modding.
1.5 was better.
1.6 was the best. He had all the crazy mods and Warcraft mods and stuff.
1.6 is where it lost me.
Yeah.
That's where I stopped PC gaming, honestly.
It was your loss. You missed out. I mean, you played the first. You say you played the first 6 months of WoW. You missed out on the glory days of WoW.
Yeah, probably. DDS2.
What the hell is this?
Oh, is this like a quick montage of other titles?
It must be.
Didn't have enough money to have a proper trailer, so they're just. I got $500. Will you put my game in your show, please?
There you go. I got the perfect thumbnail done already.
Could be worse though. Trailer spots for Summer Game Fest were starting at $250,000. Like holy buckets.
Yeah.
Pre-alpha footage. Death Sprint 66. Run. Die. Okay. Repeat. I would probably mess around with something like this.
It actually kind of looks kind of neat.
Yeah. Die for fame.
Speaking of Counter-Strike, it looks like that. It's like the runner mod levels where you're trying to get to the end. I don't know if you ever played those at all.
No, I didn't. Literally, when 1.6 came out, I was just, I don't know. The crew that I rolled with, none of us really cared for it, and
I'll add that one to the list.
We kind of disbanded. And by kind of, I mean we disbanded.
Death Sprint. I'll add that to the list. Actually, look kind of neat.
Gore meets parkour in Death Sprint 66. And here I thought the worst thing that could happen while jogging is jogging. Now, you've heard of motorbikes and motorboats, but how about motor brooms? In Crescent County, you can escape to a beautiful and wholesome island of witches, where you don't just fly around on boring old wooden brooms. You soup them up, trick them out, and use them for drifting, racing, and running a high-speed delivery service.
See, this could be you, Spectre.
To Crescent County.
You can be this guy. Shave your head bald, you know. Adopt the colorful persona.
Hey, I'd do it. He's getting paid for it.
Yeah, I would too. Skip.
It's Skip, yeah.
Try to see the title of it at least.
Oh my god. Come on.
There you go, Crescent County.
And now I'm beyond lucky to be joined by Crescent County's creative director, Anna Hollenreich. Anna, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited.
There you go,
to be
PC
here.
Gaming 2024, ladies and gentlemen.
Just walk us through a little more of what we just saw.
It's kind of if you're imagining Kiki's farm.
I'm definitely making room for it at the top of my wish list.
Oh, she's definitely gonna put it at the top of her wish list. Of course she is.
Oh man, wow.
Show today, they're all located in one place, the PC Gaming Show Steam page.
Okay, it's time to put the brooms away as we take a look at some other wickedly good releases.
I remember back in the day, I used to kind of like rate the shows, and that would be a thing, like people would rate shows and say like who won E3 and stuff back when there was the E3. But it's like every show is just bad. Like, how do you even rate them anymore? I mean, it's just terrible.
I mean, I know I'm going to sound biased, but I think Nintendo by default, it just wins constantly.
I think Nintendo wins just because they didn't have anything.
Well, even when they have something though, they just win constantly.
I think just by not showing up, they won.
Tell me a time when Nintendo's done a direct and it was worse than what we saw from PlayStation, Xbox, or PC Gamer. Exactly, you can't.
Basically everything before the Switch, the entire Wii U generation.
That was a marketing folly, man.
Walker,
I mean,
and I am the last man standing.
The Wii U was obviously what they envisioned the Switch to be ultimately.
I may not survive this, but at least I'll go down fighting for a chance to make things right, even if it's too little, too late.
G.I. Joe, Wrath of Cobra.
That actually looks kind of neat.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with this style game, honestly.
You saw the Power. Did you see that Power Rangers?
I did see the Power Rangers thing at Game Fest, actually. That, I was like, okay, because I saw the art style at first. It's like, I'm not crazy about this, but then I saw what the game actually was. It's like, oh, you know what? That would be something I'd play.
I will put Wrath of Cobra on my wish list.
But again, it's like that you can't go wrong with that style of game, you know. That's why Shredder's Revenge was such a success. You get a big IP behind it, and you're just printing money at that point.
No, I'm up to 5 games already.
5 games? Wow. Let's make this 6. Endless replayability. Skip?
Skip.
That's Shell Runner. This looks up your alley.
That's look interesting. It's like Stronghold or something. Let's see. It's a maybe.
Not a whole lot shown there, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would show a little bit more about it. But...
Operate the tax collection system. Okay. Do I get to play an IRS agent with a gun? Oh shit! They had cops outside a house. I think that's. Wishlist now, Debtors Club.
You know what? I'll make a game just like that. You know what I'm gonna call it?
What's that?
Biden's America. That's gonna be the title of the game.
Strongest economy, man.
Biden's America.
Yeah, strongest economy. You're doing great.
A great sight one can cast. Other worse.
He brought America back, or whatever his slogan is.
Built back better, right?
Mm-hmm. I know my life is better. I don't know about yours.
Yeah, sure.
I wish I had my whistle right now.
Well, at least the good thing about it, I mean, if you have to look at the silver lining, we're all going to lose a lot of weight, you know, because with the price of groceries, you know, all of a sudden start. They're just going to have to be able to eat as much.
Eat the bugs. A lot of protein in bugs.
Yeah, I don't know about you. You're getting this kind of economy makes you better acquainted with things like Aldi and
why
stuff
would
like
I?
That.
You know what, man? I won't knock Aldi's. I've never gotten produce from Aldi's or anything like that. But I mean, a box of cereal is a box of cereal. You know, it's terrible.
Oh yeah,
it's terrible for you no matter where you get it from. You know.
Yeah, there's some decent stuff at those places.
Cat Quest 3, PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC.
Hello, my name is Nicole
PC
Key,
has
and
no
I'm working
games.
with Nereal and Devolver Digital to make the world's first thirst-person shooter, The Crush. So in the game, you've been hired to produce 1999's hottest reality show, and your job is to choose the cast, film the drama, and give the
Skip.
audience what they are.
Yeah, Skip. What the hell is this?
You can play your own reality TV show. I don't know, man. The Ubisoft forward sounds a lot more appealing now. Oh, this just look at the pink and the blue and the whites. I wonder who developed this. Skip?
Yeah, Skip. Did I show you a picture of the thumbnail I made?
Yeah, did you put it in Discord?
Yeah, I can.
I have an idea what it might be.
Oh, I had the AI make it, so. That's what the AI came up with.
That's perfect. At least I know you can laugh at yourself too. Skip.
What? You're like a space trucker?
I think that's what it is. Yeah, Star Trucker. I mean, the trailer's already almost over anyway. Don't matter. That's the problem with trying to skip around on these ones. The trailers for these games are so short, which I guess isn't a bad thing, right?
Yeah,
like,
at least they don't outstay their welcome too much.
I mean, we're at like probably what 40 to 50 game announcements. I'd be willing to bet at this point. Like,
it gets them. It packs them in.
I was dreading this, but you know, after a couple of beers, I'm starting to have fun. So.
The Star Trucker thing, I almost want to put that on the list because it's so goofy. Oh, what's that about? Like a Studio Ghibli game.
Yeah, you're right. It looks exactly like that. You ever watch any of those movies?
I'm not really into it myself, but my wife is.
Trust me when I say I know
Princess
what it's
Mononoke
like to wait
is
for a
actually a
big
pretty
release to
solid
arrive.
one. You
This
might
particular download has been
appreciate
queuing
it.
for months. But fans of extraction shooters, and I'm talking about the extraction shooters,
that's the only
that
one
kicked
I've
off
ever seen from
an entirely
them.
new genre, don't have much longer to wait. Multiplayer FPS Escape from Tarkov has been in beta since 2017, but is now preparing for its heralded 1.0 release.
Escape from Tarkov is actually
Here's
good.
a look at what's
yeah,
coming
Escape
when
from
the
Tarkov.
crash of extraction shooters
My cousin's
goes
really
live.
into it. He loves that game. And he's the type of person that only plays like a handful of games. Like he's very he finds one thing he likes and he sticks with it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Давненько не заходил. Куда пропадал-то? Так ты на арену поддался, но все равно вернулся, да? Чемпион. Да, изменился ты. Но и у нас тут жизнь не стоит на месте.
I'll say one thing that's annoying, kind of annoying. I'm playing through Dark Forces Remastered. There is no manual saves at all. You have to finish the level. And I could have sworn like
you
the
can't
old
even do any
version.
save states or anything.
No, you have to finish the level. I could have sworn the original version of it had saves.
Похоже, придется тебе снова показать, чего ты стоишь, боец. Путь осилит идущий, так ведь? И кто знает, может у тебя и получится сбежать из Таркова.
Well, I'm still at 5 games, and I'm being somewhat picky. I'm not just adding everything.
3 of the 5 games are free. Skip.
Yeah, I've seen a million of these 8-bit style, platformers or whatever.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is the fake Souls-like.
Oh, this again, Skip. We saw this already in
Yeah.
the Xbox presentation. I hate it when there's repeat. This should be like a law that says you can't repeat. Trailer.
Doesn't matter. It's not Souls-like. Just because you have big bosses doesn't make it a Souls-like.
Federal law. I don't want to see the same trailer twice in
Federal law.
1 year.
World War II?
I miss like old like Battlefield games.
Yeah. Even old Call of Duty games.
Wishlist 83.
Or even old war games in general. Out
Yeah.
now. Mullet Mad Jack. Okay.
It looks kind of goofy. It must be one of those like Devolver Digital games.
Probably.
They kind of making this kind of retro. I don't even know what you call it. Retro humor type of stuff.
Mullet Mad Jack.
Cute.
Sean, I am sad to say it, but we're not a million miles away from the end of our show.
What? Already?
Oh, wait. Sean, are you about to yell no and dramatically wave your fist at the sky?
No, I just thought I was going to sneeze. Anyways, as you were saying.
Right, well, we don't have much left in the show, so it's time to...
Sorry, it turns out I am allergic to shows nearing conclusion.
Well, as I was saying, it is time to share something very special. We are living in a golden age of city builders, and there's something out there for everyone. Strategy, survival, puzzle games, co-op, there are even some really great...
As a father of 3, even my dad jokes aren't that
Even
cringe.
with all the city builders I play, I can honestly say that we've never seen one quite like this. From a very talented team of developers.
Honestly, a lot of the cool, like usually, at least, every PC game show, you'll get like a couple of like remaster announcements or something cool like that, some cool throwback title. We got all of those front loaded this year. Like we have The Thing coming, John Carpenter's The Thing game, that was the PS2 era game that's coming. We have Killing Time, which is coming as well too. What's another remaster they do? This is like another remaster they're working on to do. So I mean, we had all that kind of front loaded this time before the shows even started.
In our ship's closed age, we make now.
I made an executive decision to skip past
a
this
second
one.
chance.
There you go, Generation Exile, wishlist it.
I'm good.
What the hell is this? Oh, a vignette? Is this on Generation Exile? Yeah.
Generation Exile is a sustainable...
Yeah, Skip, please. For a second, I thought it was something else.
A huge thanks to the good folks at Sonderlust for letting us take a look inside their new sci-fi city builder, Generation Exile.
It looks incredible, and the amount of love and work the team have put into it really shines through.
Stop talking about this game.
We are under no illusion that this last year has been incredibly difficult for so many developers in the face of thousands of layoffs and countless studio closures.
Today, we are so grateful that we have the chance to put a spotlight on many people
produce meaningful
to make
content, and you won't lose your job.
If there's any game you saw in our show or
Imagine
other
that.
many showcases, we encourage you to purchase or even just wish list any of the games for developers that you care about. It goes a long way.
What does wish listing do for helping developers?
Next up, you'd think the sight of a house
It helps their
standing up
metrics.
and
It gets it
walking
to
around on
it helps the
massive chicken legs
Steam
would be horrifying,
algorithm get
but
to like a
when you
more
realize
prominent
it's
spot, so it
taking
can
some heavy
therefore
witch
So it
vibes
puts it
more
like to the
attention.
top of the list, like if you go on the
More or
Steam
less,
page.
yeah.
Yaga.
Exactly.
Actually,
All right.
pretty awesome. Reka is the base building exploration game
I
you
hope they all
curse
fail.
yourself for missing.
Build your home and let a chicken walk around on it.
Okay.
So Fortnite without the guns. Skip.
Yeah, we can skip.
Apparently, I asked the other night about a Capcom showcase. Apparently, they did their showing during the actual Summer Game Fest with Jeff Keighley, and they didn't show off much of anything. They showed off new content for Street Fighter and Monster Hunter and some other game. I was really hoping for some type of Resident Evil announcement, whether it was Resident Evil 9 or
We aren't the only ones celebrating
what
an
the next
anniversary.
remake is going to be.
iBuyPower is hitting a major milestone of their own, having been around for 25 years. iBuyPower is a fully independent
Skip.
and leading manufacturer
That's skip,
of
yeah, it's just the ad.
high-performance variety.
Scrabble the game?
Learn and spell their
Or
words,
crossword puzzle the
each
game?
with its own special ability to change the environment in deep and surprising ways.
Change the environment with this video game.
Play the Lock Digital demo available today.
What?
Don't ask for a straw.
Special forces operatives are all just wizards for some reason. One team is unstoppable. Not yours. Hers. The Black Ops Chronomancer. Her team
Female
of
lead.
needlessly fancy goons
Yeah,
have
let's skip.
brought the world to the brink of war. And only one
Tactical Breach Wizards.
Wow, what a show so far. I'm absolutely loving it. And don't forget, you can do more than just watch this amazing lineup of games. You can play them too. Visit the PC Gaming Show Steam page to wishlist all the...
Got some Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Far Cry vibes to it.
Yeah, I could see how it could be somewhat interesting.
Play the multiplayer demo now.
I don't feel the urge to wishlist it though.
Oh, here we go. You got your Game Boy. Legally safe Game Boy model. Oh, that's really pushing it though. Oh, that's pushing it even further.
Oh, I heard about this one. Yeah. This is kind of neat though.
Fucking Ash Ketchum jumping around in Super Mario World. Okay, so are you're seeing your character in the first person and the 2D perspective? Is that what I'm supposed to understand?
I think so.
Huh. It's pretty unique. I'll give it credit. That's pretty innovative. You don't see anything like that. So it's a game where we get to live out our fantasies that we had as kids when we played these games. Like, oh, I wondered if I was in Super Mario World. Screenbound? Come on, wishlist it. Come on, Spectre.
I could wishlist that.
World premiere.
That was pretty unique.
I expect you to be playing these games that you're wishlisting for the channel so people see them.
Oh yeah.
Dear friend. Oh, it's the Studio Ghibli game. It's not actually a Studio Ghibli game, that's just what we call it. There you go.
Hotel Galactic.
Hotel Galactic. Well, we're nearing the end of the show here. Plug the channel real quick. If you've been watching this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Game Reactionists, where we can react to these riveting showcases that you all love and enjoy.
Each one more interesting than the last.
We do appreciate it. Hit that notification bell so that you're aware when we upload new content. I mean, we do all kinds of things any of our current subscribers may already know. We do video game reviews, we do our own little podcast episodes, we do the showcase, unboxings, vinyl reviews,
A little bit of everything.
Snooze Fest. Where's the next Sega system? God, I would have just loved the next Sega system. Anything other than what we've gotten so far. I think there's been one game where I was just like, that looked interesting to me, and I can't even remember the title of it. So...
Dude, Hotel Galactic looks so cute, right?
Oh my god, it does, and honestly, I would just love to manage a bed and
Okay,
breakfast
skip
for
ahead.
alien
What's
travelers.
left?
I just worry that my quaint taste and timeless valence bed...
It's a good thing I kept my Pokemon Red.
Yeah, maybe all the good games have already been made.
From Fox Games, and I'm here to show you 3 different games today. So let's start with Dwarf Fortress.
Hi, I'm Zach Adams.
And I'm Tarn Adams. We're the co-creators of Dwarf Fortress, inviting you to play Adventure Mode in open beta.
And we'll be adding tutorials and demigods later this summer.
While you're waiting, you can play Caves of Cud, the most intricate roguelike ever made.
Hello, roguelike.
Brian and Jason, co-creators of Caves of Cud. After
Streets of Fortuna.
Smuggler. An artisan.
Well, here's some exciting news. Anybody who wants to get some Nintendo Switch games at a good deal, Best Buy is running a sale. Splatoon 3, Mario Kart 8, Breath of the Wild, Tropical Freeze, the Donkey Kong Country game, Link's Awakening, and Super Mario Odyssey are all $39.99 each at Best Buy. Those should all tickle your fancy far more than anything we've seen here tonight. Roguelite gameplay. This might be up your alley.
It's actually kind of cool, yeah.
Oh, what happened? Oh, I didn't
pause it.
I didn't realize that.
Grit and Valor.
Well, that's the savings you can see. Yeah, you're right. You are right, chat. That is savings you can see with regards to the Best Buy sale, and those are actually quality games. I've played all of those except for Splatoon 3.
Well, there you go. I'm up to 7 games.
7 games? Okay.
Yeah.
What in the robot hell?
Oh, it's like one of those.
Murder mysteries?
No, it's like you fill in the blank, dumb things, whatever. It's
it's not an actual video game. Skip.
There's a name for it. I can't remember it. Yeah, Skip.
Now, take a look at a game
name
from
for
our
it
friends
is
at
not a
Village Wars
video
that
game.
combines turn-based strategy with real-time exploration. Here's the new trailer for Every Day We Fight.
Well, our country's went to war. The Richters came. They put a dome over the city.
I mean, at this point, they may as well just end on Gears of War E-Day, make something
Just
exciting.
a few of us were left.
Not soldiers, just ordinary people.
Yeah, what is the last game here?
Skip.
Yeah, Skip. It's not really drawing me in.
Every Day We Fight. There you go. And we've cut off some time. We've saved about 25 minutes of the original stream so far. So we're doing well. Avenger Farm in a World of Yokais. Skip. Alright, it actually doesn't look like a long trailer. Tales of Seppuku? Seppuku?
Tales of Seppuku.
Alright, what is this? A work in progress. What do we got here? Oh, there we go.
Fastest way to turn you off from a game, right? Yeah. Really knocks the wind out of our sails, doesn't it?
Get your $1,500 to $2,000 rigs and play this. What in the hell? Okay, this is a skip, right? Should go without saying.
Velkomin í verndarvættat.
Video cult. Oh man. I'm really going for the dated look, eh?
Well, I did like Jet Moto and Twisted Metal. It looks like it's kind of a combination of both of those.
Jet Moto I'm not familiar with.
It was a PlayStation 1 game. It was really fun.
Okay.
You were like on these like super fast like jet ski things. It was like a racing game.
Okay. Cell-shaded Dark Souls. think I accidentally skipped through it.
That's
Wait,
okay.
did I go back?
You went
I
back.
Oh, we don't want to do that.
I go in the wrong direction.
Motion Twin, the creators of Dead Cells.
All right.
These cute characters here are the Leapers, who live in the Ark, a peaceful village now threatened by a massive vortex of doom. So, they train up and become fearless warriors to fight back in an attempt to save their world. Using a cool thruster, you can...
That previous one, that was Stormforge, okay.
guys will love to
Here's
play.
this one.
So join us on Steam for the latest updates and information.
Windblown.
How you can join in on the fun. See you soon in Windblown.
Folks, we are in the final stretch of the 10th anniversary PC gaming show, but that doesn't mean we are winding down. We are, in fact, amping up trailers
Right.
to cap off
I'm not
our
listening
show.
to you. World premiere. Oh. Grow your cult with your friends. Oh. Oh, perfect. Crush your enemies. What can possibly go wrong with this game? That's Worship. Another world premiere. Skip.
Yeah, we can skip.
Oh, Tom wants you to wish list now.
Sorry, Tom.
And that is a wrap on the PC Gaming Show 2024. We had such a great time showing you all the
That's what you
exciting
end on,
PC
huh?
games headed your way. And we're especially thrilled that you could join us for our 10th anniversary show. And I mean, if you've been tuning in to watch our show for 10 years
Is there another
straight,
announcement?
thank you so much. We couldn't have done it without you.
And if this is your first time watching, just watch this show like 10, 20 more times. Make up for all the ones you've missed and for the future ones.
This is the worst showcase of them all.
Right, and the punch card.
Well, at least I got 7
Can't
games out of it
forget
that I
to
wish
say
listed.
goodbye
Yeah,
to our
I mean,
brave captain of the watch party,
still
the
worst showcase
amazing
of them all.
Frankie Ward.
Guys, it's been a great show, and I had an absolute
You figure that they would have at least shown. I mean, they're getting
thank
games
you
like
to all the
Silent
game
Hill or
developers,
Metal Gear. They would
artists,
have thrown
designers,
those in
writers,
there.
voice actors, and everyone else out there.
It was
working
mostly
so
like
hard
indie.
day after day
I mean,
to
that's
make
usually what they
games.
do. Is they
I
focus
get,
on indie
I
stuff.
know, I get that, but
We
it's just like, hey,
appreciate
throwing
every
games
single
that's
one of
like,
you.
hey, remember that $2,000 PC you bought? This is the game that you can play on that.
Every game you saw on our show
Not
today
your
by visiting the
NES
PC
era
Gaming
style
Show Steam
graphics.
page.
Thank you so much again, everyone, and we'll see you again in November for the PC Gaming Show.
Yeah, it was pretty dull. I mean, he had a couple of interesting things mixed in there because I mean, at least credit where credit's due. They do show games at a fairly rapid clip.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dumb fluff in there and their cringe commentary and stuff like that, but it's you know, at least they do show it at a, you know, on a fairly rapid pace. They get a lot crammed in. But yeah, it's
Let's go back. Get this
yeah, there
camera
wasn't
away
really
from me.
it wasn't
We're
really much
going back to
special
the
there.
start.
You
Here it
really
comes. I got it. This is the take.
with these
I've got a little cake to celebrate.
with the PC game shows, like I said, usually the big thing I'm looking for sometimes is like the remaster stuff, but we've already been told all the remaster stuff already.
All right, so I'm not gonna watch anything with Ubisoft Forward, but since we're doing this, no Leisure Suit Larry, God, man, anything like that would have been better.
Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, just like any kind of surprise announcement, anything would have been fun. I mean,
So this was what was talked about in the
I don't know why
Ubisoft
that's
Forward
the noise I
presentation
chose to make,
today.
but whatever.
Star Wars
Published
Outlaws,
by
that's a hard
Microsoft.
pass.
hard pass.
X Defiance, that's been in like
Surviving.
free to
I know,
play
I just
pre-alpha
tripped it.
mode
All right, I
for
can
a
do it again.
while.
Cue the
That's
upbeat
also
soundtrack.
pass.
I was drooling all
Skull
over
and
my face for
Bones,
some reason.
Prince of
So how
Persia
about you,
DLC.
good
I
fella? Are you
mean,
gonna
just
get your
look at it. That's a
knuckles bloody with
pass.
fallen aces?
Oh, Mika.
The
I
Rogue
prefer-
Prince of Persia, also a pass.
Oh.
The Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. This was originally indefinitely delayed, and then they released this teaser trailer, which didn't show anything.
Well, they keep punting this. It's like they
I don't understand how you're struggling with this. Like, the first Sands of Time game was fantastic. You put a fresh coat of paint on it, and then you fucking pump it out in whatever your latest Assassin's Creed engine is. It should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, easy money, right? You know.
Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora DLC. Who the hell bought that game? The Crew Motorfest. Okay. Anno.
I'm surprised they put out another Crew thing after the whole controversy with the Crew. They like canceled or shut down the original Crew game or whatever.
Oh, did they?
People are freaking out about it.
I don't know. I don't know anybody who plays a Crew. In terms of car games, it's either Gran Turismo or Forza. Who the hell is playing the Crew? And
nobody anymore.
Anno 117 Pax Romana. Become a Roman governor and guide the citizens of Rome to prosperity. Build forge.
Okay, actually sounds okay.
Well, maybe we'll look up.
It's Ubisoft though. They'll screw it up.
Monopoly. Okay, how do you fuck up
classic?
Monopoly?
It's Monopoly. It's classic.
For Honor. Wasn't that already a series?
It's probably just more DLC or a re-release.
The new season of For Honor. Okay, there it is. And the historical revisionism of Assassin's Creed Shadows.
So aside from that random Roman game, it's all usual Ubisoft trash.
I am curious. Let's take a look if there's a trailer for.
Let's see. Yeah, because that seems very non-Ubisoft like.
Live action trailer.
By order of the Emperor, my fellow Romans, I bring forth tidings of hope across our glorious lands. For we stand on the threshold of a new age. Our streets shall be lined with abundance. Our fields shall yield bountiful harvests, and our coffers shall overflow with wealth. An era of prosperity dawns upon us, heralded by the arrival of a new governor.
You can take it from here.
Okay, so nothing.
Nothing. I really hope they would at least do.
Well, it's Ubisoft. They'll screw it up, I'm sure.
Well, that's a PC Gamer Showcase. That was rather abysmal.
Yeah, that was a snooze fest. It really was.
But make sure you wishlist everything on Steam. Go out and buy your $1,500, $2,000 PCs and play your Super Nintendo style indie games. PC Master Race, right?
Or just play all the same games that you can get on console, but better.
Sure. Yeah, you could do that too. You could also do it on console for a fraction of the cost.
And a fraction of the frame rate. Oh,
yeah. Well, I mean, there's not much else to say about that. We covered a lot of topics on that. I think the last thing really is we're just waiting on the Nintendo Direct. I mean, Nintendo's been quiet.
I mean, there's always rumors of like a direct around this time of year, this and this is rumored, but
I gotta imagine they're gonna do one. If I'm a betting man, I'll bet you Nintendo will drop a tweet tomorrow and be like, "Hey, Nintendo Direct on Thursday at such and such time." That's
it's coming.
That's usually how they roll. It'll be curious because we don't have a whole lot coming out for the Switch. We got Luigi's Mansion 2 remastered coming out this month, but there are no new announcements. So I know everyone is chomping at the bits for a console announcement. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we... If I'm a betting man, okay, we get a Nintendo Direct for some last, big push Switch titles. You won't get a console announcement. I think Nintendo's going to save that for the Video Game Awards this year. I think that'll be the rare occasion where they go to Jeff Keighley and be like, okay, you can eat your Doritos while we announce this. So,
I mean, it's possible. It just seems like that would be. I mean,
it's exactly what happened with the Switch. The Switch wasn't officially announced until December of 2016, and then it released in March of 2017. So,
I guess it's possible. I mean, it's only we are only 6 months, almost exactly 6 months away from the Game Awards.
Yeah. So we'll see. You had some games you wish listed. Overall, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, this was pretty bad. This is definitely worse than what I remember from last year, or even the years before that. This was a snooze fest. The only interesting games, remasters and stuff that we have coming this year, they were all announced beforehand. Like I said, The Thing, Killing Time, stuff like that. There's another one I'm just not thinking of right now, as well. Clock Tower, that was announced at a different time. So I mean, this is all. There's good remakes and classic games coming out, but what we saw here, there was not much to really. There's nothing really to get excited about. There was no big banger game that was like, oh my god, The closest we got to that is, we've seen so much of Stormgate now. It's like we just need to play it. I feel like we've been talking about it for 6 years. Let's actually play it now, which will happen pretty soon here. But yeah, I thought it was kind of a snooze fest, and I made a thumbnail already for the video to kind of go along with it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I got no opinion. There was maybe a single game I was like, oh, that looks interesting, but I've already forgotten the title about it. I don't care.
It was just
I got my Elden Ring DLC coming out this month. Luigi's Mansion 2 coming out this month. I got Snake Eater to look forward to.
There's definitely stuff to play. I mean, on my end, I have for the big titles, God of War and Silent Hill Remaster. There's several remasters coming out this year between Killing Time and The Thing. There is DLC for Warhammer Boltgun. There's stuff coming out to play. Maybe Space Marine 2 I'll get right away. I don't know. We'll see. So there's stuff coming up, and I have such a list of games to get through still too. So I'm not really hurting for things to play by any stretch of the imaginations. But I wish I had something to really be excited about. There's nothing that's really I gotta play right now. Other than the potential for, they just had another kind of soft confirmation of an Armored Core 7. So, that they're talking about it already.
It's not going to happen anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, but I'm just saying that's in the distant, next couple of years or so.
FromSoft is either going to do another Dark Souls game or another Bloodborne game before they do another Armored Core game.
That's fine. They have. It's not like they have just they have different teams to work on stuff. It's not like they can only do one game or one DLC at a time. So it's they have different projects and stuff like that going on. So that's something in the down the road for me to look forward to in the next couple of years. So
try a decade.
Yeah. It won't be a decade.
When did Armored Core 5 come out?
Armored Core 5 came out 2010-ish or so.
So over a decade ago?
Well, there was a big gap. Also, here, let's go. Here, if you want to play that game.
March 2012 is when Armored Core 5 came out.
And then you had Verdict Day after that, though.
Demon's Souls release date. Demon's Souls came out in 2009. Dark Souls 2011. You had Armored Core 5 in 2012.
And then Verdict Day was next year after that, 2013.
Was that DLC for Armored Core 5?
It was a new game. But you here between Armored Core 4 here, better comparison. Armored Core 4 came out in 2006, and then we got For Answer in 2008, which was a follow-up slash kind of successor to it, and then you had another 4 years after that you had Armored Core 5.
Verdict Day came out in 2013. So the last Armored Core game that came out prior to 6 would have been a decade ago. Right?
Yeah, because the series went into dormancy for a while.
Sure.
Now it's obviously out of it.
And why did it go into a dormancy?
Here, that's the full timeline for Armored Core releases right there for you.
And then Bloodborne came out in 2015. Dark Souls 3, 2016.
Yeah, speaking of dormancy, where's Bloodborne 2? We're 10 years later. Is that a dead franchise?
It shouldn't be. But
it clearly is, right? Because it's 10 years.
I think we're more likely we had a Sekiro, 2019.
That's already 5 years old.
Elden Ring came out in 2022, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, with all these other projects, they're probably going to go back in time to do a. I would bet either a Bloodborne sequel or a Dark Souls sequel.
I think we get another Armored Core in the next, I'd say, 3 to 4 years at the most, because they're going to build it off of the engine and kind of design that we saw for Armored Core 6. That would be my guess.
I might be willing to bet that won't happen, but we could talk offline about that. Anyway, we're going off on a tangent. That was a PC gaming showcase of 2024. It was a fucking snooze fest. And there's not much else to say other than that. Any last thoughts from you?
No, I'm freely admit it was disappointing. I never have like really high expectations for these shows, but this was definitely a snooze fest. This was definitely worse than the last one or the last couple.
And you know what? Honestly, another thing with these is like we don't need these hour-and-a-half, 2-hour long presentations. You guys, like, at least with the PC showcase, I'll give them credit. They showed like maybe 50 to, I'm willing to say like 50 to 75 games. Okay, like they showed a lot of games, so they had a good pace about it, just nothing to get excited about. But, you know, when it comes to Xbox, like, we were watching them for, like, what, an hour and a half? Like, God. Respect our time, people. Gotta rewatch this to go to bed. Rewatch it, man. Yeah, it'll put you to sleep. It'll
cure your insomnia, right? Yeah, I mean, have it on, like, low in the background. It's almost like... yeah.
You'll have the soothing sounds of Rorschach and Spectre lulling you to sleep. Go back to sleep. Yeah, there's not much else to say. Hopefully we get a Nintendo Direct. I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it as well, just because...
I can't even really speculate. I don't know what Nintendo will do. You know, they've been pretty tight-lipped lately.
I could see some easy moves they could do, like they could throw over some I think they could still, there's still some games left in the Wii U treasure chest to plunder.
I've given up all hope on Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD.
Wind Waker, Twilight Princess.
I've given up hope on it, man. I'm not even going to speculate it. I've accepted they won't do it.
There's Xenoblade Chronicles X, I think was the one that wasn't ported over yet. So I mean, there's some games they could throw out there,
Yeah. I'm sure there are, and like Nintendo is one.
There's always GameCube, right? They just did that with Paper Mario. I mean, there's other GameCube games they could bring over, I'm sure.
Right. I don't know. I've just given hope. I've given up hope on the Zelda remasters from Wii U going to the Switch. Those are like the only games other than Xenoblade that haven't been ported, and I don't know. Well, that was as good a time as any to end this. We are the Game Reactionists. If you haven't already, if you stuck with us this long, we appreciate that. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you're aware of whenever we upload new content. I am Rorschach.
And I'm Spectre.
We'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much.